So, guys, it's David here, and it's currently day 340. I hope you guys had a wonderful day and are doing better than yesterday. But the time is currently 6:20. Today, there are a few things I want to do, which is to start my new book, You Are the Placebo, which is another book by Dr. Joe. And I do think his book has really connected with me in some level because after reading Become Supernatural and practicing the meditations, I have felt so clear and so present in my life. And therefore, I really want to dig deeper into it because I do think that just by reading it once isn't going to allow me to master it nor understand the basics. So I do think I'm going to invest more of my time into that subject, into that niche, right? To, I guess, find my spiritual awakening. And that is my main, well, not my main priorities, but that is where my interest is going into at the moment. But as for coding, it is still the same. I'm still going to create a software or an app that is going to help people become better than yesterday. It is going to make high performance sleep better at night, knowing that they have done enough, knowing what to do next tomorrow. But that is the end goal. And every small project I make along the way, it is only going to test my skills. For that, I can make that project at the end of the day. But either or, I think what I have been doing wrong, or what I should be doing more wisely, is instead of just doing tutorials on how to code and how to do this and that and work on different languages, maybe what I should do is to understand what my main project will consist, like what different functions, what different maybe user interface I may want to display, and therefore I should base my learning on that. So instead of like learning how to, I don't know, make a car engine when I want to make rocket ships, I should focus on how to make rocket ship engines, right? Obviously, maybe, right, working on car engines may help you further understand more or make better rocket engines. Maybe. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on cars or rockets nor on coding, but you kind of get my idea. If I'm trying to work on A, then I maybe should not be focusing on B. Rather, I should know exactly what I should be focusing on and work on that to prioritize. And anything else will just be like an like a what like a plus, right? You do it so you can understand more. But that is where my trajectory is going, and I do think that is me thinking for once instead of just doing it to use up my time to not become distracted. Because at the moment, I don't feel like I have a distraction problem, but rather I more have a problem where I am not thinking and making a decision, but rather I'm just trying to get by the day and yeah, which is not exactly how I envision myself to become. But so yeah, I mean that is the plan for today at least because by just getting past the day, by just like doing things and then just getting your day by, even though you're not distracting yourself, I do feel like that something's missing, that my main purpose is missing. And that is because I'm not spending a lot of time on coding, guys. Like I said, I'm coding, but the person I see myself to become and the amount of effort I am putting into it doesn't really align. It doesn't really make sense. So I have to put in more effort for me to really believe in myself that I am the person I want to become. Because yes, I do feel grateful. I do feel enthusiastic. I do feel love and compassion. All these emotions that I do think that person will feel. However, action reinforces your feelings, right? If I'm only doing 30 minutes of coding and I say I want to change the world, doesn't really make sense. So I'm going to put more time into coding and less time into reading, that's for sure, guys. But yeah, that is the plan for today. And I'm gonna get showered up now, weigh myself, hit the gym, finish my last leg session of the week, and I'll catch you guys this afternoon. So, coming back from the gym session today, I had this thought of me going back into my old behaviors, relapsing on drugs, doing dumb shit, and just living an unfulfilling life. And it is no surprise or nothing new that our thoughts will dictate how we feel. Our thoughts will either make us unhappy or grateful for life. And certainly, having that thought as I was on the walk back home, my internal state of emotion was nothing but just sadness, just plain derogatory. I came back home with a short temper. I disrespected my mom. I talked, well, not in a very pleasant tone to her. And by doing so, I repented on the way how I reacted to the situation. And coming into my work decks today, I was not motivated. I was still having this sense of guilt, having this sense of just all these bad emotions I had associated myself with when I was that person on drugs, when I was on the calm down. So it is by no surprise that our thought will dictate how we feel. And our thoughts can cure us from unhappiness or breed depression. So my question and the thing I want to discover is, how is it that we can cultivate great thoughts? How is it that we can cultivate great emotions and break through our inertia of automatic programming that we have done for ourselves unconsciously and subconsciously? Because we are, in fact, not always conscious. We are not always aware of how we think to ourselves. We are not always present. And by then, we are not breaking free from our old behaviors and patterns of thinking. There are times where I am unconscious in my thought, but yet I feel like I have been conscious. There are times where I am tense, where I am stressed, but yet I feel as if I am not that. So, how is it that we can break free from our automatic programming is something I do want to look into. And by reading the book, You Are the Placebo, in the first few chapters, it goes into how people who are going through cancer, who are going through intense illnesses, and who have been given a placebo, that pill will cure their illness. And somehow miraculously happen that they end up believing that they have been cured. And by doing so, it has changed certain brain chemistry, which in the end help them cure themselves from their diseases. So if it is that our thought alone can do such wonders in curing diseases, cancers, depression, anything in life, then it is probably clear that majority of our difficulties in life that we face, a lot of illnesses, a lot of hardship we go through in life are that of self-creation. We make ourselves stressed. We feel unappreciated in life. We make our life more difficult in a way because we, at an unconscious or subconscious level, keep reinforcing these negative emotions to ourselves, which in essence are making us feel the way we are at the moment. So, if it goes to show that acting negatively and cultivating these negative emotions will not make life great, will not benefit you, but rather it will make you die quicker, then it would be the wise thing to do to think positively, to make good emotional choices. But yet, we know it is the right thing to do. We know it is the right thing to always act grateful, to act loving, to act compassionate and empathetic. But how is it can we do that and reprogram that into our minds so that we can become that when we are not conscious? This is something I will find a solution to. But what I do know and what I can say at the moment that has helped me feel great is that instead of saying to yourself when you do become conscious, because to break free from automatic behaviors, we have to, at a sense, be disciplined enough in the conscious state when we are present and truly present to say things and do things that is going against our inertia, our internal inertia, our default. That if we are lazy, we need to do something consciously that is not going to be lazy, that is going to be ambitious and driven. We have to do that for a certain amount of time until that becomes our programming. But what one thing has worked for me to cultivate great feelings of emotions and give myself butterflies and just honestly internal orgasm feeling like is to, instead of saying that I will be happy or I will be healed or I will be disciplined or I will be a person who's loving and caring of my partner or my friends, etc. Instead of saying I will be, you should say, I am already, that I am healed, that I am loving, that I care for people. And by doing so, you are, in essence, telling yourself that you already are the person. And this goes back to how, instead of hoping you become the person you want to be, you should start to believe you already are that person and start living that person. Start living that lifestyle and start feeling what it is to feel to be that person. And I could say confidently for myself that instead of saying I will be and say that I am already works more favorably, it's because every time I say that I will be healed, although I do feel this electromagnetic wave of just pleasantness, right? It is very hard to explain, but it is as if my body was animating, right? But the energy was weak. I could sense that the frequency that those words were conveyed and understood to me were, although pleasant, although positive emotions, those energies were on a very weak frequency wavelengths. But when I said, I am healed, I am loving, I am whatever it is I want to feel and become, my brain goes through an internal orgasm. That is exactly how I have to explain it. It is though that energy feels so real. And even by now, just saying that I am healed, it is as if my body is just going through this tingling sensation and it's just pure bliss. So just imagine this, feeling as if you are giving your mind an orgasm every single time you say, I am healed, I am grateful to be here, or I am whatever it is you want to become. Just imagine that, having an internal orgasm. Even if it doesn't do anything for you, having that internal orgasm in a way will make you feel more grateful, will make you feel more happy about the situation you are in life at the moment. But it is with the discipline, it is with the constant habit of reminding yourself that you are grateful, that you are healed, that you are happy, that you are the person you said you were going to be. It is the commitment to do that daily and perhaps many times over in those days that you eventually will break free from your old inertia of negative thinking. It is with repetition that you are going to reprogram your subconscious and unconscious mind. So, yes, repetition and action is needed. Just by saying it once is not enough. It is like just by coding once, just by going to the gym once, doesn't mean you're going to get a six pack. It is through repetition. But guess what? Going to the gym once feels good. And that is exactly what saying, I am grateful, I am healed, I am loving, I am feeling this positive emotion will do to you. It will make you feel good in the moment, and that should be a reflection of instant gratification that you should reward yourself with every time you complete something hard. Don't look for external factors, but rather find something internal. And for a long time, that question really bothered me. What is it to find that internal drive, internal reward system? And to me, I think it is slowly beginning to piece together the answer to myself. It is to remind yourself of those emotions, those positive feelings you feel when you do get rewarded. And that is to say, remind yourself that I'm grateful, that I truly appreciate my circumstances, that I truly do feel loved, I do feel healed, I do feel cared about. Saying those is an internal reward that I should implement into my routine. That every time I do something hard, I should remind myself, of those emotions. And over time, I will keep track of my progress. And if this is a great and viable tool that you could use to cultivate internal reward, then I will remind you guys of this, that this does work. But this, in essence, is only an experiment for me. It is something so new, and there's so much more to touch on this, on how is it to break free from your old programmings and how to actually feel great all the time. Because I do think it's possible. Because if we can make ourselves to feel bad, then we can make ourselves to feel good. If we can make ourselves to feel ill, then we can think and be healed. That being said, I'm going to go to my shift soon, but this will be everything for today. So I hope you guys had learned something from this. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, have a great day.